The winners but a memory. It's time to shake off the rust and rev up dreams. One of racing's most storied tracks, the road to Indy starts here, as Cooper Tires presents the USF2000 Championship powered by Mazda, launching a new season next. Welcome to Sebring International Raceway on the Mazda Motorsports Hour. Today, coverage of the USF2000 season opening weekend. Hello again, everyone. I'm Rick Benjamin. IndyCar star James Hinchcliffe will join me on the call in just a couple of moments. Today, we focus on the first rung of the Mazda Motorsports development ladder. First step on the Mazda road to Indy. The USF2000 national champion will earn a fully funded season next year in Star Mazda. We'll see plenty of Star Mazda action as well. This is the 60th anniversary season of racing here at Sebring. Tough and challenging racetrack, 3.7 miles, flat as a pancake, pretty rough too. It was a World War II airfield. Let's take a look around this beautiful place. The champion's wall at Sebring says it all. Some of the legendary names who found a way to tame this most demanding and legendary layout. James Hinchcliffe is alongside. James, tell me about this place and the challenge our drivers will face here today.
Well, it's a very challenging racetrack, Rick. It's one of the longest laps the drivers will do all season long. We'll take a look at the map now. It's a very bumpy layout. It's a very good mix of high and low speed corners. Great passing opportunities down into 17, down into the hairpin in turn 7 as well. So it's going to be challenging to have the setup right and also make sure you can maintain the right rhythm around a very long lap.
Now, our events are timed 30 minutes in duration here at Sebring, and let's show you today's starting lineup. This is round 2 of a season-long championship. Matthew Brabham, very famous racing family. Spencer Piggott out of Florida, a young guy a lot of people are looking at as a potential champion. Thomas McGregor qualifies 3rd. Roman Lagudi will line up alongside of the 4-car. Back to row number 3 of the USF2000 National Championship powered by Mazda. Matthew DeLeo and Shelby Blackstock, very famous family, although you might not recognize the name there. We'll talk about that as the season progresses. And our 4th row, Neil Alberico and Scott Anderson, starting in the 7th and 8th positions. 5th row here at Sebring today, second half of a doubleheader weekend. Timmy Megenbeyer, Scott Hargrove qualifying 10th wicket. We'll show you the rest of today's starting lineup. And James, when you were running in these junior formula, part of the Mazda road to Indy, tremendous pressure, I've got to think, on these young drivers.
It certainly is. For a lot of them, Rick, it's the first jump out of go-karts into professional open-wheel racing. And as you said, it is the first step in the Mazda road to Indy. So they feel like they got to prove themselves at this level to make it up the ladder.
Some of the drivers at the back of the field, though, drivers we expect to be very strong, like Luca Forgeois and some others, as we go throughout the course of the 2012 season. Let's take a look at what these race cars include. They're Van Diemen's, they're Elan-built cars, starting in 2001. Of course, they have that Mazda power plant. These are really challenging little race cars, aren't they?
Again, they've got great power-to-weight ratio. It's a very light race car, 2-frame chassis, but very quick. It really gives the drivers a good sense of engineering and really teaching them how to develop those set of skills as they move up the formula.
And, of course, everyone on these terrific Cooper tires. Now, Dave Anderson is the president and CEO of the USF2000 National Championship. We spoke to him before the start.
We're very pleased that the series and the package that we've put together with Mazda and Cooper Tires and IndyCar has started to take hold. I think a lot of the young drivers recognize the platform that we're providing them so that they can train and become an IndyCar star.
Now, race number 1 in this brand new season, run yesterday at Sebring. Matthew Brabham was the winner. We spoke to him moments ago about the strategy he'll use here today.
It was fantastic yesterday, but I still got to look forward to today and not lose any focus on today. So I've just been focusing on today's race, and I'll still have the same plan to stay in the lead and keep out in front in case any cautions or anything goes on, which is, I'm sure, is most likely going to happen. So yeah, that's the plan, just stay out in front and yeah, focus on this race.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
32 cars and drivers, James Hinchcliffe. The pulse is starting to pick up for these guys.
It's a tremendously large grid, and one of these guys can win from almost anywhere. It's a great thing about this series. Passing is very possible. The cars can follow close. It's really giving these guys a chance to learn their racecraft, and no better place to do it than here at Sebring.
Out from under the mobile bridge onto the front straightaway. Glad to have you with us for a full season's worth of coverage on the Mazda Motorsports Hour. Todd Lewis will have our coverage from pit road. Green flag is in the air. Piggott and Brabham heading off into turn number 1. Look at him go 3 and 4 wide here at Sebring.
It was a nice tight start. Rows 2 by 2, 3 wide into turn 1. It looks like Piggott's going to slot into second place there behind Brabham, and everybody seems to be getting through turn 1.
Now, cold tires in a place like this, I'm sure, are not your friend. We see a little brake drag there. One car offline.
Offline, a little bit in the dirt there, but I think he might have saved that. And as you say, the cold tires are so easy to lock up, but at the same time, you're trying to make hay right now. It's the best time to make some moves, try and get some passes done when the field's all tightly bunched together like this.
Matthew Brabham off to the early lead. He's in the white 83 car. Right behind him is Spencer Piggott. A lot of jockeying for position. Piggott takes a look to the inside.
Takes a look to the inside and further back, maybe a pass for fourth place there. Good pass there. Is that Shelby Blackstock? Thomas McGregor may be moving up there.
And Rick Furuseth has one of our onboard cameras here today at Sebring. He's in the 32 car, starting pretty deep in the field, but you get a sense of just the traffic level and the challenge these drivers face.
And if you just watch his hands on the steering wheel and you can see the right front wheel there, how bumpy this track is in certain places. Lots of different pavement changes, lots of different surfaces that these drivers are going to have to deal with, and that is a very big challenge, especially on this first lap. You're experiencing the grip level, trying to figure out what the track conditions are like.
Side by side through one of the right-handers up on the rumble strips, running down one of the short straightaways toward the S's here at Sebring International. Oh, in trouble. Car has gone around early. It looks like the 5 car is offline.
Dalton Kellett, and there's a car in the side of him as well. Oh, that is not, it looks like he spun coming out of water tower there and got T-boned. That is a very dangerous place to go around. That's a scary accident, but we definitely see movement out of Dalton's car, the young Canadian driver.
Good news that everybody looks to be okay. Second car on the scene, able to pop it into reverse and back away, so apparently not severe impact. Brabham, meantime, just a local yellow, builds his lead heading into the final turn.
So look at a replay now. We can see at the bottom of your screen, one car goes off in front of Dalton. Dalton spins and just nowhere to go. Still can't tell who the other car involved was, and look at them just spread out onto the grass to try and avoid this. That's a very scary position to be in as the guy stopped in the middle of the racetrack.
Isaac Lyons in the 13, the other car involved as they come around the right-hander. Here's a look at Lyons coming down the backstretch. Heavy damage to the nose cone of that car.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, maybe he avoided damage to the suspension that can come in and get that nose changed, but what's going to hurt him is not having a full course caution to bunch the field back up. So this essentially ends his day.
This, of course, a worldwide championship. Lyons is from Ireland. Kellett from Toronto, Canada. Countryman of yours.
He is, and actually Dalton was one of the drivers of the Hinchtown.com karting award shootout. So he's actually been on my radar for a little while. Very talented driver coming out of Canada.
Taking a look at the 2 car, Spencer Piggott already about 15 car lengths behind Matthew Brabham. We've seen Brabham really for the first time here this weekend, James, and I'm so impressed with the pace he's able to show.
The pace and the maturity. He's not making mistakes. You know, he took a commanding lead early. By the end of that first lap, he had several seconds over Spencer Piggott, a guy who's got a little bit more experience than him in these cars. So clearly the racing gene runs very deep in that young man.
Roman Lagudi in that red 4 car running in 3rd position right now is Matthew Brabham, of course, the grandson of Sir Jack, the former world champion. Jeff and David, of course, here watching as they see Matthew embark on his USF2000 career this season. Take a look at your running order with 2 laps on the board at the top of your screen. DeLeo in 4th now. You did see that pass for 4th. It was DeLeo getting that spot.
It was DeLeo, another Hinchtown.com Canadian Karting Award shootout participant. So it's good to see the young Canadians doing well. You got Trevor McGregor and Wolf there in 9th place. And Thompson running out the top 10. Another spin, the 59 car.
That's Bobby Kelly out of Riverside, California, going around and hanging the back tires out over the rumble strips. He may be kind of beached. Looks like he may have high-sided that car. So we may get a local yellow there at the entrance to the backstretch. No, Kelly able to get it refired. Now, he lost the top element to his wing.
Yeah, it's a very bizarre thing to happen. Not sure if that was a mechanical failure or as a result of the spin, but we'll have to take a look at that. And another car around now, the true car, the number 18.
That's Shannon McIntosh. Now, that's at the entrance to the front straightaway. That's kind of an unusual place to go around.
Well, it is and it isn't. It's one of the most challenging corners on this racetrack. You come around, a dangerous place of the track to be in. She's very lucky to avoid incident there, but it's you're coming off that long back straightaway. You're carrying a ton of speed in, but it is the bumpiest corner on the racetrack. And no matter what formula you're in, open wheel cars, sports cars, you often see cars going around there, as we now watch a replay of the Kelly spin earlier.
Looks like the wing collapsed.
It looks like the lower element just buckled and dropped the rear wing down, and that's going to result in a massive loss of rear downforce, which could definitely explain why the car went loose and he spun there.
Meantime, Matthew Brabham continues to add to his lead with a couple of laps on the board here at Sebring. We'll come right back. More of the Cooper Tires presents the USF2000 National Championship powered by Mazda. Welcome back to Sebring International Raceway alongside James Hinchcliffe, I'm Rick Benjamin. Todd Lewis will have our coverage on pit road as we watch Matthew Brabham who won the opener here earlier in the weekend, continuing to impress. Man, he is laying down some terrific laps.
And you can see how hard he's working the car, the thing's sliding. He is just absolutely flat out from start to finish here, and it's impressive the gap that he's opened up over Spencer Pigot in second place.
Pigot running in second, Lagudi right there in the red 4 car in third. Thomas McGregor is next in line as they funnel down the backstretch. How important is the draft in these cars at a place like Sebring?
Well, what's great about these cars is they're not as aerodynamically efficient as some of the higher formula, so they do punch quite a big hole in the air, and down these long straightaways, they are creating quite a big draft as we see a little bit of a sideways moment, and maybe have an opportunity to use that draft right here. We have the 14 and I believe the 7 cars side by side. An attempted outside pass into turn 1, one of the scariest corners in motorsports, and he pulls it off before they get there. So very clean move there, capitalized on the mistake, and pulled off a clean pass.
Thomas McGregor in the 7 to the outside, getting around the 14 car, doing a nice job. That's Scott Anderson in the 14, giving up that position. And that gives a young driver a lot of confidence to be able to make one of those moves work.
Yeah, it does, as we see a car running slow now there on the outside of the last corner, but all back together. Maybe that was another spin. He's just recovering from that. It's tricky last corner here at Sebring. That was Patrick Lynn, the 28-year-old, I believe, out of Pittsburgh.
Patrick Lynn, one of the national contenders in the series. We've got a couple of different categories of drivers, and there he is again going around. That's a different chassis, as you can tell by the design of the car. Just lost it on the outside there.
Yeah, very likely to get the thing slowed down before he got into the tires, but he seems to be up and running now and back underway.
As Lynn in the 48 takes off one more time and moves around this racetrack. 3.7 miles here. This is one of those courses, James, I would think for a newcomer to this series, it'd be pretty hard to learn this place.
Well, it is, because as we spoke about at the beginning of the show, it's such a long lap. And when you have this massive mix of very quick corners, very slow technical sections, this is a very quick technical section that our leader's heading into right now. The S is heading onto the back straight. 3 very, very quick corners in concession. It's all about compromise. It's setting up one corner for the next, So it certainly is a daunting place to try and get to and learn in just a couple practice sessions before the race starts.
Matthew Brabham, of course, a lot of experience, a lot of family history in this sport, especially at this place at Sebring International Raceway. Brabham around the final corner, you get a sense of just how rough this racetrack is. Concrete surface, a lot of seams here, and some asphalt portions as we see here.
Yeah, and that's, again, it's one of the challenges not only for the drivers, but also for the engineers setting up these cars, trying to make the car handle as best it can over different surfaces. And Sebring's got more different surfaces than any other track they're going to race on. So it really is a little bit throwing them into the fire in the first race here.
Jim Lubecco there in the 98 out of Ohio, one of our national class competitors. You may have noticed a couple of different chassis designs. The national class, a class aimed at getting you started in Cooper Tires presents the USF2000 National Championship, powered by Mazda. The front-running cars, the Van Diemens up front here. These are our contenders. These are the drivers we'll be looking at for a Mazda Road to Indy opportunity.
Yeah, these are the guys that are going for the championship, and of course the champion being given essentially a seat in the Star Mazda series. It's just part of this phenomenal Road to Indy that Mazda's developed. Nothing like it in motorsports anywhere else in the world. There never has been. It's just incredible the opportunity that these kids have. As we see another driver in turn 17 again.
That's the 77 going around. That's Colette Davis, one of our female competitors in the field. Colette out of Kansas City, now racing out of Daytona Beach, the Global Emergency Machine, and she just has the same problem, just a little oversteer coming off the corner there.
It's just so tough over those bumps. These formula cars are not built to go off-roading, and that's essentially what you're having to do through turn 17, as we have a local caution heading into the hairpin there.
Patrick Gallagher in the 91 stopping on the grass with the visor up, so you'd assume he's kind of dead in the water at that point. And Colette Davis there in the 77, looks like she got refired and then had it stall again.
Yeah, that could potentially bring out a full course caution if she can't get that car fired, because it is in a very dangerous position, as we've seen already many cars go around at that very part of the track.
So if you're Spencer Pigot or some of the cars running behind second spot, you're probably praying for that full course yellow, giving an opportunity to close back up to Matthew Brabham.
This is exactly what Brabham does not want to see. He's got this nice healthy lead. He's controlling the pace of the race. He's controlling that gap. And all of a sudden, the caution could really throw a wrench into his plans for a second consecutive win here.
Brabham under green, though, trying to... Oh, and there is the double yellow flags off the flag stand, a full course yellow. Season opening weekend for Cooper Tires presents the USF2000 National Championship, powered by Mazda. So we'll slow things down here at Sebring International Raceway and go and collect those 2 cars that have stopped on the circuit. Our champion this year will get a fully funded ride next year in the Star Mazda Championship, and then, James, you're almost there.
Exactly, because you move up into Firestone Indy Lights, where we've seen several champions in the past 3 or 4 years get their jump up into IndyCar.
So the Mazda Road to Indy is totally geared to creating a new set of champions.
it's huge. You know, the Mazda Road to Indy is really, like I said, paving the path for these young drivers to get to the IZ IndyCar Series. Anytime we can go out and really extend that, extend the program, extend the reach of that program, it's big for us. And now to say that we have partnerships in Europe, United States, Canada, and Mexico is huge for the program, and we couldn't be more excited about what we have.
Going to be fun to watch these new stars of the USF2000 Championship do battle this season. All right, ready for a restart at Sebring, single file. Lap number 7 about to go up on the board. We'll see if Brabham can stretch it back out here. Pigot's got a chance, though.
Pigot's using that draft we spoke about earlier. He's pulled to the outside, and he's keeping Brabham nice and tight, not giving him lots of room as he swings out wide, outside, side by side through turn 1. Very quick, very bumpy, and Pigot takes the lead.
Matthew Brabham had a 20-car length advantage at one point, but on the jailbreak on the restart, Pigot able to snooker him going into turn 1. He's got the advantage.
Everything Brabham didn't want, a yellow flag and then getting passed for the lead right now, but we saw the pace he had earlier. That's not to say that Pigot's going to run away with this. He could definitely challenge back now heading into the hairpin.
Side-by-side action out from under the bridge. Positions up for grabs all throughout the field, and this Cooper Tires presents the USF. Oh, inside out moving. A nice one back for position heading down into the corner as Cooper Tires presents the USF2000 National Championship powered by Mazda. All right, trouble. Big contact. Car goes around. Another car, of course. Body parts everywhere. Everyone on the brakes. More contact.
Oh, that is just exactly what you didn't want to see. A car stopped on the racetrack and people not able to avoid it. We've now got 4 cars stopped there. Another car had a trip through the grass. These drivers' days are done. Very unfortunate.
And we had seen Isaac Lyons in trouble earlier as another full course yellow was displayed here at Sebring. They put a new nose cone on Lyons' car, and he gets into this one, his second incident of the day. And that may set things up here for Spencer Pigot. Now, if you're Matthew Brabham, you've got to be kicking yourself because you had dominated. You gave up the lead on that restart. You may not get a chance to try to get it back here.
Yes, but this might be what he needed to see. This yellow flag could mix things up again. We saw what happened last time.
Take one more look at the action going into the hairpin.
It's Trent Heidemann going around. Some bodywork flying off there. A couple cars make it through, and then all of a sudden, there's a little more contact just behind, and 2 more cars are involved there. So a bit of a mess down in the hairpin.
Lyon piling into Patrick Lynn in the blue car, and they get into Heinemann. Everybody okay, but that brings out the full course yellow. It's going to take a while to clean this up, it appears, and I'm starting to get concerned about the clock. This is a 30-minute timed event. In fact, the field getting the indication that this is it. The checkered flag is out, and that was the winning pass by Spencer Pigot.
That restart really did define this race. A great pass by Pigot as he acknowledges his crew there. It's still good spirits from Brabham there in second place.
One more look at it, down into one. Pigot on the outside, taking advantage of that restart. Let's head to victory lane. Here's Todd Lewis.
Tell me about that move you made to get out in front of your teammate.
Yeah, well, Matt did a great job the first half of the race. We didn't quite have the pace to keep up, but I knew that was going to be my only chance at the start, and I've been working on that move through the Winterfest, and I know that there's quite a lot of grip on the outside of one, so I just kept my foot in it until I saw him lift off and was able to get it done.
Congratulations, a winner here at Sebring.
Well, they say passing is easiest on a restart, and Spencer Pigot certainly verifying that for us here at Sebring. Let's hear from our disappointed runner-up. Back to Todd.
Talk about the move where Spencer got around you.
On the restart, we had Spencer got a little bit of a slipstreaming on the main straight and managed to get around the further enough alongside me where he could get around the outside in turn 1. So yeah, it was a very good move, and I was a bit disappointed how it all finished, with finishing under yellow, and I didn't get another chance from then. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed, but I'm still happy to finish second.
First and second on the weekend, certainly not a bad result for Brabham.
No, but the best result, that of Spencer Pigot, who makes that late pass to take the win in event number 2 here at Sebring International Raceway. Lagudi is third, DeLeo and Alberico your top 5. We show you the balance of the top 10. Scott Hargrove comes home 11th. Silver, Furuseth, Eaton, and Miller, the rest of the top 15. Now, James, I think we're going to see a tremendous season of competition from these young drivers.
Well, we saw how close it was here. We saw guys learning, making mistakes, but that's all part of being in this series. So I think the great racing is going to continue all season long.
Winners celebrating in Victory Circle here at Sebring International Raceway, the ceremonial spraying of the champagne. We'll take you next to the streets of St. Petersburg on the Mazda Motorsports Hour. If you wondered why racers love to start a new season in Florida, here's a case study. We're on the streets of St. Petersburg for Cooper Tires presents the USF2000 Championship powered by Mazda. The Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, second consecutive weekend of action in this series, getting set to go. And moments ago, Todd Lewis talked to our pole sitter.
Spencer Pigot on the pole position for the start of the USF2000 race. Is it important to get that first corner and stay out in front in this one?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, street courses are always difficult to pass on, so being in the lead is really the best place to be. I mean, obviously you always want to be out front, but particularly on a street circuit where there's limited passing. So, hopefully we can all get through turn 1 cleanly and I'll be able to keep the lead.
All right, we saw Spencer Pigot do a fantastic job at Sebring, James. Today, he backs up that win by scoring the pole.
That's right. He snookered Matthew Brabham on a restart, who had dominated the race up to that point, and now Matthew Brabham starting second alongside him, looking to return the favor.
Show you the rest of our starting lineup here today. Doubleheader action again this weekend at St. Pete. Neil Alberico and Matthew DeLeo. Good qualifying run for him.
Yeah, it's been consistently quick all season so far for the young Canadian as we look now to the third row of the grid.
Timmy Megenbauer will start 5th in the 17. Luigi Biancardi will line up alongside a couple of drivers who are pretty strong from the Chicago area. Roman Lagudi and Scott Hargrove will make up row number 4 here. And back to the 5th row, we'll see Trent Hindman starting in 9th spot alongside Chris Miller. Hindman involved in one of those wrecks at Sebring.
The second round of the championship certainly didn't treat him very well. He'll be looking for a bit of a stronger result here today as we look at 11th through 20th on the grid.
Yeah, a couple of your countrymen there, Kellen and McGregor from Canada, Shelby Blackstock from suburban Nashville, Tennessee, Wolf and Silver, Johnson and Choi, Thompson, and then the rest of our starting lineup. Colette Davis, who had problems at Sebring, will line up 30th here today. J.R. Smart, Shannon McIntosh, she spun at Sebring as well. We'll see if she can have a better day. Jim Lebecco will line up 34th. He's one of our Continental class, national class competitors here at St. Petersburg this weekend. James, I know you like this place a lot. This is a terrific circuit.
It's a great track for the drivers. It's very challenging, but it also adds some very good passing opportunities down into turn 1 and especially into turn 10 as well. It's got an interesting technical middle sector of the track with that long front straight. It's very wide. It's a runway after all, and it funnels down into turn 1, so we can see problems there not only on the start but also throughout the race.
Some good passing opportunities to be sure here on the streets of St. Petersburg. Before we go green, let's check in with Todd.
Guys, a couple of things to watch for in this USF2000 race. Spencer Pigot, of course, says he wants that first corner and wants to get out front. Being out front, though, could be a challenge as we go through this race. He said it within a few laps, we'll be getting into traffic. He'll have to pass some back markers. That could offer an opportunity for anyone challenging to get ahead of him.
Coming to the green, Pigot up shifts. James, take us down into turn 1 here.
All right, he's down the inside. You can see he's looking in his mirror. He's blocking the inside, but Brabham's going to try the outside. Oh, a bit of contact there. 3 wide into turn 1 at St. Pete as the field funnels through the first 2 turns.
Man, they go 3 wide and even 4 wide at times through the first couple of corners at St. Pete, and everybody comes through cleanly.
It's unbelievable. That is actually a surprisingly narrow bit of racetrack. Some slow-moving cars there because these guys are holding each other up, running wheel to wheel like that.
Spencer Pigot first through there, and Neil Alberico in good shape as well. Let's get on board with Roman Lagudi.
Yeah, the Sydney, Australia native now going through turn 5. It gets very tight through this middle sector, so expect the cars to get more to a single file line as they head out of turn 9 here and try and rocket down this back straight into the next passing opportunity into turn 10.
Lagudi qualified back in 7th position. Young driver now races out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, if you're in that situation, James, and you're starting back there 3rd, 4th, 5th row, are you just trying to kind of get things organized and get a good few laps under your belt?
Well, it's a double-edged sword. You want to get into a rhythm on one hand, but on the other hand, the start is the best opportunity to try and make some headway, try and make some moves up that grid. So it's a careful balance for these drivers, and we did see one driver trying to make some moves, Matthew Brabham, moving back up into 2nd place after losing that in the first corner.
Brabham taking advantage of the opportunity there, coming through the corner. 2nd spot now is his. Watch this, Spencer Pigot starting to stretch the lead out already as the engineers watch from pit road.
That's the Andretti Autosport crew tracking their drivers, Thomas McGregor and Shelby Blackstock. Those are my guys, absolutely.
Dive bomb attempt going into 1. The pass not made there. Now everybody's starting to settle down a little bit single file here at St. Petersburg. But as I mentioned at the top, James, and I've always thought this place afforded you good opportunities to pass. You've really got to be ready for those opportunities.
I'll tell you what, for a street circuit, St. Pete does offer more good passing opportunities as we see a car in pit lane now than most other racetracks, street tracks, I should say. They got the long straights. It's the long run into turn 1, the long run into turn 4, and then also down into turn 10. But you're right, it's still not easy. You have to be right on the guy's gearbox and ready and committed to make that move.
Luca Forchois in the 9 on pit road early with problems. Crew will try to get him back into the action. Now remember, these are only 30-minute timed races. You can't waste any time. If you have to stop, your chances of winning are gone. The object, though, for those guys, certainly to finish. Alberico in the 19, Megenbeyer in the 17, starting to fight it out a bit for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Oh, in trouble. That's Joel Janko in the 25, as he's one of our national category competitors. Started 31st out of Key Largo, Florida, able to refire that car and get back in the chase.
Yeah, luckily that's one of the slower parts of the racetrack in turn 5, but as we look back into turn 1 and the action for the lead, look at Matthew Brabham chasing down Spencer Pigot. He is on a mission. He wants revenge for round 2 at Sebring.
Now, we saw some drivers run very well at Sebring. Some others struggled there. I'm impressed by seeing what Lagudi is doing here, what Megenbeyer is doing here, and Neil Alberico, who did not appear to be one of our stronger race teams, one of our stronger entrants at Sebring. They've picked up the street circuit very nicely.
They really haven't, and that's a real testament to the talent and commitment of these young drivers, because these street circuits can be very intimidating. Obviously, concrete walls all around. You've got to use every inch of the road, but there's zero room for error. So being able to master these is a huge... Actually, we see some damage there on the front wing there. As we watch this battle unfold, maybe that's part of the reason there's a bit of a train forming behind that car.
Yeah, if you lose front downforce, front grip, certainly you are going to lose a lot of your pace, and it's so hard to pass here that is going to back up the field a bit.
Yeah, Alberico's doing a good job holding everybody off, because with that front wing damage, he's going to have a ton of what we call understeer. That's when, as you turn the steering wheel, the front wheels simply don't grip, and the front of the car essentially plows forward. So he's going to be under pressure here now heading into turn 1.
It's Alberico 3rd in that blue and black JDC Motorsports entry as Pigot in the yellow car, Brabham in the white machine, run 1-2 and stretch it out. Alberico fighting it. You can see it in the corner.
Absolutely, and this train of cars behind him is going to be bad news if the number 17 there can, Timmy Megenbeyer can get a run on him, because once you get past, when there's a train of cars behind you, you get out of your rhythm, you get offline, a bit of marbles on your tires, and that can really lead to a series of positions lost for you. So he's going to try his absolute hardest to hold on to this position.
Neil Alberico there running in 3rd spot in that blue and black machine, and you can see the right side of his front wing, apparently a strut damage, and the wing kind of bouncing off the pavement.
And that could have been from the contact we saw with Spencer Pigot actually heading into the first corner there. Oh, contact with the wall. Contact with the wall out of turn 8. That was probably going to do a little bit of damage to the suspension there.
White wall one of those rear tires and probably break something in the bargain when you just carry it a little too wide. Here's another look.
He comes around there, just a little bit too much mid-corner speed, understeers a bit. Oh, you know what? He hit it very square, though. He might have actually got away without too much damage, but certainly the toe might be out a little bit, the steering wheel not perfectly straight. We see him fighting it a little bit, but, I mean, he's hanging on to it. He's still going.
Dave Gardy out of Chicago, Illinois. Meantime, let's get on board with Colin Thompson, one of the Velarde Auto Racing entries. He is back in 24th position, races out of the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area, trying to work his way toward the front here on the streets of St. Petersburg. Meantime, Spencer Pigot trying to build his lead over Matthew Brabham. It's early in the season for the USF2000 championship contenders. We already know who 2 of those contenders are. Alberico, Megenbeyer, and Roman Lagudi, the rest of the Fast 5. Welcome back. Mazda Motorsports Hour, the USF2000 Championship. Cooper Tires presents the championship. Of course, these cars are powered by Mazda. Alongside James Hinchcliffe, I'm Rick Benjamin. Todd Lewis has our coverage on pit road for 18th. Mark Eaton in the 92. And the white car, the 28, Artie Greenemeyer, who's been doing this for a good long time. They've had a great fight going. There's a 3rd member of that battle back there as well, a couple of car lengths further back. But this is a good one through the S's heading toward the horseshoe.
You know, it's great. It's good to see these battles all the way through the field. It's not just up front for the lead. These guys are fighting tooth and nail for every position on this racetrack. 30
minutes of timed competition in the Cooper Tires presents the USF2000 Championship powered by Mazda, so you have to be very conscious of the lap count. You don't have a lot of time as we watch Eaton try to make that pass. Up front, meantime, Brabham in the white machine trying to track down Pigot. It's about a 4-car length advantage.
And Pigot's really stepped it up. He had an early lead that Brabham just absolutely ate up, got right onto his gearbox, but really has not been able to make any sort of real attempt at a pass since then.
Matthew Brabham trying to coax everything possible out of his Mazda MZR engine. Now, these are sealed motors that power the entire field in the Cooper Tires USF2000 Championship, powered by Mazda. Elite Engines repairs all the motors. We talked to Steve Knapp of Elite.
The best part about it is the metallurgy in the motor is so much better than what we've seen in the past from other companies that, you know, we can run lower oil pressure, higher temperatures. We take the engines apart and they still look new on the inside. You know, a lot of times when we get the engines back to take them apart and inspect them, we put them back together with the same bearings, and we've got engines out here right now In the Cape cars, which have gone 2 years, they have over 8,000 racing miles on them.
That's an incredible testimony to the quality, the durability, and the reliability of these Mazda power plants as the leaders work lap traffic down into turn 1. It's still Piggott out in front. Brabham trying to chase him down. Not a great day for one of the early contenders, Timmy Megenbeyer. Todd's caught up with him on pit road.
Timmy, we see the car off and you out of it already. What happened out there?
Yeah, we're going into the back section to go on the back straightaway and just tap the wall trying to pass a lapped car, and it stripped out the bolt for the camber. So rough race out, but the car was perfect, running really good. Just running fourth, keeping up with JDC car in front of me. And we had a great one. Team did a great job this weekend, and we're going to push harder again for tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, a tough one for Timmy Megenbeyer. Sometimes the best laid plans don't bear fruit.
That's normally what happens in racing, actually. That's often how it works. But we saw, and then more damage here.
That is the 11 car, yeah. Colin Thompson, we rode with him a little while ago in that Bollardi car. Looks like he's busted into somebody there, knocked the nose off.
He's going to have to be very careful to make sure that front wing doesn't fold underneath that race car and really cause him some problems.
You go to a corner, all of a sudden you can't turn, right?
Well, exactly, and many racing drivers have been caught out by something just like that, so he's going to have to nurse that thing back to the pits, and maybe he can do a nose change and get back out there.
Clock ticking, laps starting to wind down. Piggott still the leader in the yellow car, right behind him, the white 83. Matthew Brabham just a car length back now.
And you know, we're seeing a really mature drive from both these young men. I mean, Piggott's been under pressure from about lap 3 from Brabham, and he has not made a single mistake, not given him a single opportunity to try and make a move, but he is closer now than he has been for the last 5 laps as they head onto the back straight.
Matthew Brabham hoping for an opportunity to pounce here as we work toward the late stages of this one. Neil Alberico's been third for a long time with that broken front wing. Big gap. It's amazing to me, James, he's been able to stay in contention this long.
If you remember earlier, when the first couple laps right after the damage to his front wing happened, he had a train of cars behind him, and he's battled this ill-handling race car and actually opened up a significant 20-car length gap back to 4th place. So very, very good drive from Alberico.
Might be the drive of the day here so far as the 2 leaders hit turn 1. There's the gap from 3rd. You've got, about a third of that straightaway back to the 4th place car.
But he does not have much room to breathe. There's a bit of a train here for 4th, 5th, and 6th place, and a little bit of action for 7th, 8th, and 9th as well. So battles all the way through the top 10.
Trent Heineman, who remember got into a wreck at Sebring a week ago, has certainly battled back. They had to repair that race car, but he's doing a nice job here today on the very challenging street circuit at St. Petersburg as we watch these battles for position behind the leaders. Back on board with Piggott, who has led much of this one.
Down now onto the back straight, up through the gears, flat out kink to the left here. This is a very brave part of the racetrack, also into a good passing opportunity.
Back to the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg on the Mazda Motorsports Hour. Cooper Tires presenting the USF2000 Championship, powered by Mazda. With James Hinchcliffe, I'm Rick Benjamin. Todd Lewis has our coverage on pit road. Up front, still Spencer Piggott and Matthew Brabham fighting it out. Great action throughout the rest of the field. James, we've got some good battles for position here. Shelby Blackstock up to 9th now.
Yeah, the Andretti Autosport driver, he's been very consistent. He qualified, I think, in the just outside the top 10, and he's just slowly been working his way up. He's been picking up cars one at a time, and he's just learning right now. He got into a race car pretty late, but he's doing a very good job.
Shelby Blackstock also active in sports car racing in Grand Am, and you might know his mom, country legend Reba McEntire, and you'll see her on pit road at many of his events. 6 laps are complete. We take a look at the 3 car. That's Trent Heineman in 8th position, doing a nice job here at St. Petersburg in this doubleheader weekend. Also on the agenda here at St. Petersburg, the Star Mazda Championship, part of the Mazda Road to Indy. A second race of the weekend, a wild one. Good, clean start for a lot of these cars, but early on, trouble for one of the contenders. This is Ryan Veeder getting dumped into turn 1, a violent wreck into the outside wall.
Not only a roll, but a very, very hard hit with the wall once he finally got there. So great to see the structural integrity of these cars, how safe they are, and see him walk away, no harm, no foul.
Now on the ensuing plan for a restart, this is Jeremy Daniel gassing it too quickly apparently on cold tires. He gets in the wall, knocks the nose cone off the 10 car. Then a little bit later on, Ashley Freiberg would get hooked here by Camilo Schmidt, and they go off into the tire barrier. Jack Hawksworth would dominate once we finally did get this one restarted. 10 laps under green. Hawksworth from Great Britain wins for Team Pelfrey, part of the action at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. The winner of the USF2000 Championship, powered by Mazda, It's that fully funded ride to go tangle with everybody in Star next year, James.
Absolutely. Again, just another step on the Mazda road to Indy, this phenomenal program put together by Mazda. We're now back with the second place, actually. That's Brabham trying to chase down Piggott. Now, a bit of a gap there. I think a lap car got in the way.
He seems to have a little bit of oversteer as well. Seems pretty loose coming off these corners.
He did look a little loose there. I'm not sure if he got offline trying to pass that lap car. Maybe got some marbles on his tires, but look now at the gap. It is, 10, 15 car lengths. So Piggott with a little bit of breathing room for the first time since the first lap.
And if you're Piggott, you're looking in the mirrors thinking, okay, now I'm in great shape.
The big thing for Spencer right now is to put his head down, look forward. If he starts looking in his mirrors, trying to monitor how far back Brabham is, he might start making mistakes, maybe lose a 10th here or there. The gap's big enough, he knows he's not going to make a move right now, so just focus on your own race, hit your own marks, and try and bring this thing home.
Some debris there on the front straightaway. Everybody staying to the outside. Drivers left up to the wall to clear that, but we stay green as we watch Spencer Piggott from pole for Team Pelfrey and Cape Motorsports. Kind of a combined effort this weekend. He had to fight hard against Brabham. Stole that one from Brabham a week ago at Sebring. And now looking in great shape here at St. Pete.
And what I love about this young driver right here is he ran this series last year. He had maybe some opportunities to move up, but decided, you know what, I'm going to come back to the USF2000 championship. I'm going to try and win that title and take that prize up to Star Mazda. He didn't want to rush it, and that's one of the knock-on effects of this brilliant Road to Indy program is it's encouraging drivers to stay back, get that little bit more experience before making that move up to the next run.
Not take a step too soon that in some cases will derail your career if you're not capable. Oh, trouble. One car runs wide, belts the wall on the outside. Everybody has to scatter. That's the 38 in some trouble. Scott Hargrove from 9th on the grid. He's got his hands in the air. One more look at it here as he's on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to try and hold the line on the outside there, and you can see those tires there in turn 10 just caught him out, and again, the car stopped in a very dangerous part of the racetrack.
Fortunately, Hargrove hit a soft wall there. That could have been devastating as he was trying to maintain position side by side, but you run out of room on a street circuit pretty quickly.
You certainly do. It's like we talked about earlier. There's just no room for error right now as we watch. Oh, the caution flag is out. Caution flag is out, and that was actually maybe a little bit of breathing room for Alberico there, who was starting to get some pressure from Gallagher.
Safety crew on the way to rescue Scott Hargrove here at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. More of the Mazda Motorsports Hour in a moment. Welcome back to the streets of St. Petersburg, getting set for a restart here. Final few laps of the USF2000 Championship, powered by Mazda. Cooper tires, of course, on all of these race cars. 17 laps on the board. Piggott and Brabham. Brabham trying to find a way by.
And Piggott's going to dive down the inside, get into all of those marbles. They're going to try and go through too wide. Who's going to come out on top? Piggott, out in the marbles for Brabham. He's going to get all loose there, get marbles on his tires and lose grip.
I like what Piggott did there. He didn't leave Brabham much room on the exit of that corner.
It was exact role reversal of the last round in Sebring, where Brabham had the lead, a late caution as we see some racing now down into turn 4, side by side. Oh, very good by both drivers.
Heinemann trying to hold position there. He's able to do that. Same idea. Don't give the opponent too much.
No, exactly. And that's Blackstock who was trying to make the move happen from very tight on the inside. So again, very mature drive. You're not going to make it happen there. Try and line them up down this back straight into turn 10.
Trent Heinemann in the white 3, Shelby Blackstock in the black and red 8 car battling for position. This is for 7th, 8th, and 9th in play in the final few moments here at Sebring.
Here we go down the inside. Very textbook stuff here.
9th and 10th in play back there.
Absolutely. That was Blackstock's Andretti Autosport teammate Thomas McGregor. Nice clean pass there into turn 10. And look at Brabham. We just saw him flash off the screen. He is right on the gearbox of Piggott heading down the start-finish straightaway.
This is still the battle between Heinemann and Blackstock. There are your two leaders crossing start-finish. 17 laps on the board. Brabham trying to fake inside and outside. Third place up for grabs now as well.
And Alberico's been holding on to that position for so long with that damaged race car. Gallagher really now trying to put the pressure on, and more cars adding the fray. This is really becoming a race for the last spot on the podium.
Matthew DeLeo back there trying to get around, and here comes Brabham. One more bit on the outside of the Piggott machine.
This is great driving from both guys. Piggott defending beautifully. Brabham doing everything he can, a little bit quicker right now, no doubt, but just unable to find a way by.
These two drivers split the first 2 races of the season at Sebring 1 week ago. Spencer Piggott winning the second race in that yellow car after Matthew Brabham had won the first and had led much of the second event. Brabham tried desperately to find a way to squeak by here at St. Pete.
And here we go down the inside. Gallagher trying again, but no, Alberico holds on to it one more time and just barely misses the tires.
Meantime, the 38 of Scott Hargrove from Vancouver going out on the hook. Of course, he spun and hit a tire barrier earlier this afternoon. Action in the final quarter. Oh, trouble. Colette Davis has spun in the 77. Now, she had her problems at Sebring a week ago. She goes around. Looks like she's bent part of that race car.
Yeah, so it's a weird place to go around, but it looks like she's far enough offline. It won't cause a full course caution. I think the race director wants to make sure this race stays green because we have so many battles on track, not only for first and second, the top step of the podium, but right here for third, fourth, and fifth. Just hot battles all over the racetrack.
Neil Alberico in that blue and black JDC car, the 19, with that damaged front wing, trying to hold off Patrick Gallagher from Thornville, Ohio, in the J Motorsports 56. That's the green machine there as he runs fourth.
It's just been such an impressive drive. He damaged that wing in the first corner of the first lap, and he opened up a gap at one point, back to fourth place, and now we look, the battle for the lead. It's the final lap. Everyone has one last chance to steal those precious positions, and look how close Brabham is heading through turn 3, flat out for these guys, down the back straight into turn 4.
If Matthew Brabham's going to enact some revenge from last week at Sebring, he better get it done now. Alberico, meantime's got his hands full for third. Here comes Gallagher on the inside.
Down the inside. Oh no! Contact. Both cars in the tires. That is just heartbreaking after the drive that Alberico had protecting that damaged race car.
Both of those machines go into the tire barriers. That will open the door for perhaps a different driver to make it to third, make it to the podium today. Spencer Pigot in control of this one into the final corner.
He's got one corner to go. He just needs a good run off of this final turn 14, and it looks like he's got this one in the bag. The checkered flag is waving. Brabham's in the draft, but he just does not have the time to pull out. Fist in the air. A very good, very mature drive from Spencer Pigot.
Pigot is your winner. Second consecutive race in the Cooper Tires presents the USF2000 Championship, powered by Mazda. Now, here's another look at the battle between the 56 and the 19 of Alberico.
Yeah, I mean, Gallagher was in there. He just did not quite give him enough room on the outside, and it's just unfortunate.
Gallagher's car heavily damaged as he makes it slowly to pit road. Let's talk to the winner downstairs, to Todd Lewis.
Helmets off, Mazda hat going on, and a smile on the face of Spencer Pigot. Boy, that was a great race between you two. Matt Brabham gave you all you could handle, especially on that restart.
Yeah, definitely. No, I was a bit disappointed to see the restart come out because I've been able to pull away quite a bit through the traffic, but you know, it came out. I was struggling with the car a little bit towards the end there, but you know, we're able to just hang on for the win. So, you know, big thanks to everyone at Cape Motorsports, Team Pelfrey, Mockett, Emerging Technologies, and everyone that's helping me.
Win number 2 this season for Spencer Pigot.
Out of Orlando, Florida, nice to get a home state victory. A couple of them, as a matter of fact. Brabham has to settle for second again in front of Lagudi.
Yeah, great drive from Lagudi to hang on to that, avoid all the incidents, and get himself up onto the podium.
Luigi Biancardi, Trent Heinman, and Shelby Blackstock cash in big, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
It was a great battle all race long from those guys, and you know, the 7 and 8 cars from Andretti Autosport moving up from teams into 6th and 7th position. Good finish from them.
Now, this is part of a doubleheader weekend of action in the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, where Cooper Tires presents the USF2000 National Championship, powered by Mazda. After the 4th race of the 2012 season, let's take a look at where the points table stands. Spencer Pigot wins again, 3 wins in 4 starts. He is your championship leader over Brabham, Roman Lagudi, Thomas McGregor, Matthew DeLeo, and Shelby Blackstock, the top 6 in points. The USF2000 Championship, powered by Mazda. Hope you enjoyed our coverage of Cooper Tires presents the USF2000 Championship, powered by Mazda. It'll be an exciting season. We'll see some oval track action at Lucas Oil Raceway in Indianapolis. We'll also see some action in Baltimore and at Virginia International Raceway. For James Hinchcliffe and Todd Lewis, I'm Rick Benjamin. We congratulate our winner this weekend, Spencer Pigot. Thanks for watching the Mazda Motorsports Hour.